Hi.
Hi.
I'm Josh Elliott.
I'm Alex Simpson.
And today we are going to be reviewing Downsizing.
The movie of the century.
Spoilers for this entire review, because there really isn't a way to describe this movie without describing the entire plot of it.
Because if you don't explain the entire thing, you miss a lot, and you don't know what's going on. There's this new technology called downsizing where you get shrunk to like 3 inches tall to like save the environment, but it also has the benefits of your income inflates so you can afford more things. And so Matt Damon decides to get small with his wife. His wife ends up not going with him. And so it's just his struggle through that, and also global warming.
There's so much to the story.
I tried to explain it to my parents last night, and it literally took me 15 minutes, and they still didn't understand it.
Okay, the biggest problem with this movie is that it becomes about something different every 20 minutes. Because, like, first it's just about the creators of Downsizing, then it becomes about Matt Damon and his wife, but then, like, she doesn't go through with it, then it becomes about just him trying to find a new lease on life, then it becomes about him helping other people, then it becomes about the end of the world.
When I was explaining it to my brother last night, he goes, oh yeah, so, like, the world is actually ending, like, this is the last chance of survival. I go, no, it's like global warming. The world will end in like 200 to 300 years. Not like a disaster movie where it's like the world is ending right now. I was thinking about it last night, and one point that I did not get, I think they could have cut this whole section out and it would have been fine. At the beginning of the movie, he has this conversation with his mom. She's not important to the story.
There are quite a few moments like that. This movie's just very odd. It's not good, but the thing that keeps it from being a disaster is the premise. The whole idea of people shrinking themselves down is a really original idea, and they go just about everywhere they can with it. Like, they've thought through the math of it all in terms of financial income and like how big they are, how the world reacts to it, where would these people live, how would they live, what types of things do they have.
The logistics of actually shrinking someone. Like, if you have any metal in your body, you have to like let it out, because evidently metal doesn't shrink. It's only organic material. So if you have like fillings in your teeth, that's why they took everybody's teeth out and gave them smaller teeth.
So they've thought it through. In terms of world building, this movie is pretty great. But it's just the story that's weird, because I really don't know what it's about.
It's like helping people and global warming at the same time.
I think it's really just about helping yourself and finding out what you want to do with your life and finding a purpose. But it's amongst all these other side messages that it gets really confusing. The directing is really average. It was very plain how it was shot, which is weird. This is like a fantastical idea, and they literally created like this fake world of Leisureland, and so I was expecting big, bright colors, super long shots, a very cinematically shot movie, and it's very simple, plain, just static shots, and they're not even interesting static shots. I was let down with how Alexander Payne shot this movie.
One specific time I leaned over, I was like, Matt Damon was having a conversation with another guy, and they didn't finish the conversation on screen, but you could still hear it. When he was sitting there staring at the wall, it had no importance. I don't know why he couldn't have just finished out what the conversation was to start with.
Acting?
I thought it was good. They were dynamic characters. Hong
Chau's the actress.
She's the best one.
She definitely had an acting challenge because she not only had the accent, but also this peg leg.
I don't think really any of the other characters had like a story arc other than Matt Damon and Hong Chau.
Also, this is a love story. Matt Damon starts off helping Hong Chau, and I thought, oh, this is cute. This is like an unlikely friendship story. They're each gonna bring out the best in each other and just stay friends. But then, next thing you know, on the boat in Norway, they have sex. I never got the impression that they were actually falling in love. I never got the impression that this was gonna become a love story.
I missed the fact that they did have sex until like 20 minutes later in the movie.
What kind of you give me?
Yeah, there's 8 kinds of American so. Also, there's a lot of penises in this movie, and not in a sexual way.
You have to be stripped naked to downsize, and they show everything. Good for, like, progressiveness, because, like, usually women are naked in movies, and in this one it's men, but, like, it was just so random.
I was like, is there anything else to say? Oh, at the end of the movie, the founder of Downsizing, the guy who invented it, was like, yeah, the world is gonna go to pieces, so me and this select group of people are gonna go 2,000 feet into the earth and live sustainably by ourselves for like 5,000 years. And Matt Damon decides to go. He goes into this hole and he's like super excited. He turns to the guy next to him and is like, is it just me or are we walking uphill? And the guy's like, yeah, it's an 11-hour walk uphill before we even go downhill. And so Matt Damon turns around and goes back. I don't know if he just didn't want to walk for 11 hours.
Also, the movie is 2 hours and 15 minutes. It feels like 2 hours and 15 minutes. I saw Molly's Game 2 days ago, and that movie's 2 hours and 20 minutes, and it felt like a normal length movie. Downsizing feels
It's long.
We forgot the Alex cry meter.
It's a 0 out of 10. I did not cry. It was not an emotional movie.
Except when Hong Chow cried. I was like, okay.
The deal is with Hong Chau's character is she's Vietnamese and speaks very broken English. So I feel like it would be a more emotional scene if my brain wasn't working hard on trying to figure out what she's saying.
Do you want to do scores?
Yeah. I give it a 3 out of 10. I felt like the plot dragged on too much and they couldn't decide on what they wanted to focus on and it just kind of jumped around a lot.
That's the lowest rating you've given any movie on this
Yeah.
channel. I liked it more than you did. Too much happened. I thought the plot dragged along, but I didn't think it was bad because the premise is too good for it to be bad. The acting's alright. Hong Chow is genuinely good. Overall, it was just very mediocre. It didn't impress me, but it didn't really unimpress me either, so I'll give it a 5. So our final verdict is a 4. It's a very polarizing movie. People either love it or hate it. Don't see Downsizing, or maybe do, just so you can figure out what you think of it. What did you think of Downsizing if you saw it? Please tell us in the comments, and thanks for watching the review. Bye!
Goodbye! Thanks for watching the video. Click here to subscribe and click here to watch our last video. Thanks you guys so much.